We will do our normal intro.
Yep.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to be live. We are playing the intro. We are going to get to YouTube. Independent wrestling is what we're going to talk about. We want you to come in to YouTube on here. There's Miguel, Mr. Z is joining in. And I see a table of pins and supplies. And there we go. There's that big man's pretty face. Right here on Instagram, ladies and gentlemen. Who else is going to join us? He's got a lot of background noise in his end, so that may not be the best of interest. That's okay, that's okay. Now I can't hear you on your mic. Do you have your mic muted for the All right. We got to do that. And, oh, ladies and gentlemen, we are not even in proper position. Let me get him in screen here. We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Give Mr. Z a moment or two here. He's going to figure out.
Check.
There we go. He is live with us, ladies and gentlemen. The big man is live. Right here on the Value of Wrestling. We're both live, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, whoops, we're going to put the big man on full screen. Now, let me get back to that screen. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Value of Wrestling on the big time with Mr. Z, the big man. We are here. Welcome to the show. We thank you for joining us. I am on Instagram. Mr. Z is there. You're just not going to be able to hear him unless you're watching the YouTube. So if you want to know what he's saying, you need to get over here to YouTube land and join in as we're going to talk about independent wrestling right here. This is the newest, hottest podcast on the Value Wrestling YouTube channel. This is called IWCP. Now, most people say IWC is the Internet Wrestling Community. No, this is going to be the Independent Wrestling Community podcast, where we talk about everything independent wrestling and more. We're going to help you find your favorite wrestling stars on the independent scenes. We're going to tell you about some of the biggest matches, the hottest matches, and the hottest events going on in your city. When you don't got WWE, AEW, TNA, NWA, GCW, or whoever else, New Japan Pro Wrestling. And yeah, we may talk about a few of the others, but they really have to be independent wrestling, which eliminates, for me at least, TNA, AEW, WWE, NWA. But I think that, we'll maybe see GCW, CCW, some of the other big names. Like a big name out of the Bay Area for us right here in California is Hoodslam. Of course, Hoodslam out in the Bay Area, Oakland, San Francisco, doing their thing each and every week. They just got done with, what was it, Emo Prom? Emo
The emo
Prom.
prom show.
Yes, the Emo Prom show where our buddy Daniel Torch was on there. I seen Torchy was there, plus a lot of other great names. I believe the Stoner
Yeah.
Brothers were there. It was a fun time, I'm sure, at Hoodslam. Of course, Hoodslam is now gearing up for their 21 and over show at the Oakland Continental Club on December 6th from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. From 8 p.m. ish to 11 p.m. ish. You're going to have Hoodslam bringing you Entertainia 15, it looks like. Entertainia 15 on December
That is
6th. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Z.
that is like their WrestleMania. Every year they build it like a WrestleMania. So one of their biggest shows of the year.
Yeah,
Although Hoodslam is the biggest show of the month in Oakland. So it's like they've had, I think someone said that they've actually had fire marshals come and say, "Hey, look, you're over capacity. You need to let some people go home."
Hoodslam, Entertainia. They've got a title match going down. The best athlete in the East Bay Golden Fanny Packs Championship. Kenny K Kenny K taking on the champion Kieta Murray. And if I don't pronounce these names right, I apologize. Some of these names are new to me, some are not. Mr. Z will have to collect me on some of those. A Glam Championship match. We'll have Mac Daddy Milo taking on Glampian Mighty Myra. So that'll be a fun one.
Well,
Ooh,
we just seen Mighty Myra Warriors. So I mean, great talent. I would be I would be remiss if I didn't go and see this one. Should be a great match.
here's something that a lot of people might want to see. A fatal four-way for the Intergalactic Tag Team Champions. AEW Tag Team MXM, Mansoor and Mason will be defending against the Stoner Brothers. The Emo Heads, Daniel Torch and Emo Rob, our buddy Torchy, and then Anton Voorhees and Richard Chinari are all going to dance in that four-way dance.
Well, MXM going back to Hoodslam, mind you, Mansoor is a mainstay of Hoodslam, trained out of the Stoner U. So this is a homecoming for him for sure.
Well, they're defending, from what this promo says, the Intergalactic Tag Team Championships. And this will be on December 6th. This is Friday night, December 6th, at the Continental Club at 1658 12th Street in Oakland. Also on that card, Allison K will be taking on Vampirus to determine who holds the golden gig.
The golden gig, yes. That is their that's their staple championship. That is like the end all be all. The world title is the golden gig.
And then
like AJ. I was gonna say guys like El Chupacabra, who we've seen at Realm of Warriors. Broseph Joe Brody has held this. I believe the Stoner Bros at one time or another have held it at their own discretion. I mean, there's Shotzi Blackheart, I believe, has held this too. So that's like their main staple title.
yes. No, it should be interesting to see all of that. We're having, I got to get over here. I see I have a little error. Give me 1 minute. Mr. Z not looking perfect, but we'll fix it. We'll fix it. Always fixing stuff, especially when we rush to put it all on air. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get back over to the live. We will do a quick transition. Hopefully that's all. Okay, there we go. And then their therapist license is going to be on the line. Grief counselor Marco going to take on Dr. Von Erie with their loser gets their therapist license revoked. So that is all going down. It's going to be hosted by Jordan Castle. James C. versus Jaguar Montoya going to be in action. And also possibly appearing names like the Dark Sheik, Laura Frazier, Chupacabra, Jeff, Brittany Wonder, and Serial Man, all possibly coming out to Hoodslam Entertainia 15, December 6th. So that's going on December 6th for Hoodslam. Let me tell you something about. Let me tell you something about your boys. On December 8th, your boys are going to be in Roseville, California, with Lucha Santa. Yes, Lucha Santa is going to come to Barrios Choice in Roseville, California from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on December 8th. That's Saturday. Come out, get your picture taken with Lucha Santa. And before that, go check out Lucha Santa. You can go check out Collectible Stampede and West Coast to find out all the information. They are making, they're selling stuff. They got some Lucha Santa shirts, sweatshirts, and I believe an ugly sweater jacket of some type. All the stuff's on sale. All those proceeds are going to help go to help fund some toys for some kids in need this holiday season. So go check that out on December 8th. December 6th, if you're in Oakland, San Francisco, you're in the Bay Area, go check out Hoodslam's Entertainia 15. Hey, Chupacabra, Kenny K, AJ Kirsch. Who else can we holler at? Hey, Stoner Brothers. Can we get an invite?
Ooh.
Can we get an invite to the show so we can get the Stoner Brothers names written into the Choppy Hall of Fame? Holla at your boys.
Heck, even James C. James C., I know you're watching too. Give us the invite, my brother. We've had this conversation over meat and chops, so
Let's make it happen. If somebody can get us an invite to Hoodslam, we might show up and check it out. I don't know if I'm ready for it. I've heard it's a wild, crazy party, but hey, you know what? Let's do it. If you're not going to do that, you do have the end of the month, Saturday, November 30th, at the Gilman Brewing Company at 912 Gilman Street in Berkeley, California. Doors open at 6:30, bell time at 7 p.m. It's neon night, so wear your favorite neon colors and let us help light up the Gilman and celebrate 2 years as Oasis Pro Wrestling presents their year 2 anniversary show. Already announced the Millennium Mafia of Patrice Domino, Sancho de Mira, who we saw at Collectible Stampede in Woodland, and Cliff Hendricks making up the Millennium Mafia. They're going to take on some boys we're going to about to introduce to you in a couple weeks, about 2 weeks from now. The Ugly Dojo, Big Ugly, Abigail Warren, and Bishop Jimenez are all going to be action in that match. And your SPW champion, the big man, the Dark Fox Illumide, the Obsidian Adonis, is going to stake on Starboy Charlie at Oasis Pro Year 2, their anniversary show. That's taking place on Saturday, November 30th, 2024.
Whoa. Starboy Charlie's back in the States. He's been at Pro Wrestling Noah for like the last 6 months. So, yeah, you don't want to miss this. Starboy Charlie is something special.
Oasis.
If you haven't seen him at Noah, you're going to enjoy him at Oasis Pro.
Oasis Pro, November 30th in Berkeley. You may want to check out that show. And you know our boy Illumide. If you don't know, you need to know. And you need to find this man and watch him. This is another reason we want to do this podcast. We're going to tell you guys you need to watch out for. The Dark Fox Illumide and all his buddies are some big names you want to watch out for, because we're also going to talk about Jason Xavier here shortly. But Jason Xavier, Nathan Brick, big names. We don't want to forget some of the other great names. Tarzan Duran, an amazing talent. Of course, Kenny K making his rounds. The South Pacific Savages, Juicy and Journey, making their rounds. They're showing up. They're big at Oasis Pro. It looks like they're making other rounds. ROW, of course, Realm of Warriors Championship Wrestling just had their big event, Fall Fury, and we're looking forward to their next event. Of course, it doesn't look like that'll happen until February, but we'll keep you posted as Realm of Warriors keeps on moving and growing and doing what they do. We appreciate you. If you're here, if you're watching me on Instagram, jump over to YouTube to really get the deets on everything we're talking about tonight. Independent wrestling is getting hot and heavy. Yes, we're talking about a lot of the California stuff because that's where we're based. But if you're an independent wrestling company and you're catching this, whether it's later now or whenever, hey, holler at us. ValueWrestling@gmail.com is a great way to connect with us. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and of course here on YouTube. We want to connect with every and any independent wrestling promotion that we can. We definitely want to get connected with, California, and then hopefully we might bleed into Nevada and Oregon in the next coming months in the next year. And eventually we hope to expand and start covering shows all across the land. Hell, maybe we'll get invited to a GCW show, maybe CCW. Who knows? Maybe we'll wind up in OVW. Maybe we'll wind up down in Florida for some fun stuff. Anything's possible. We're excited to be doing this. We want to talk about independent wrestling. We want you to know about independent wrestling because it's hopping. Hashtag make indie wrestling great again. Believe in that.
There you go. Well, here's the thing too, and it's like I've talked to fans on multiple platforms. The guys, the ones that are going to WrestleMania in Vegas, the first thing they say is, "Are you going to check out any of the independent stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, just tell me where it's going to be at, and I'll go check it out." We got all weekend long, folks, and you have all day before that main card starts at the venue, at the big venue, to check out a bunch of independent wrestling.
Oh, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty of independent wrestling through the week while it's going down. Let alone Vegas used to be a hotbed for NWA. I believe AWA did some shows out of the Showboat. There was a lot of, back in the day when the Showboat was around, there was a lot of wrestling that was taking place. And we can't forget Buffalo Bill and Buffalo Bill Wrestling out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Hell, let's talk Las Vegas, Nevada. Let's talk about the... Yeah, we can talk about the Godfather himself, along with many other big names that come out of Vegas. I forget who's coming out of Vegas, who's billed out of Vegas right now, but there are some big names that have come out of Las Vegas.
Well, not just that, they even have Cauliflower Alley, which every year is like
Yes.
one of the biggest conventions. I went to one like the first trip I took with Mrs. Z to Vegas. It happened that weekend. We went and checked it out. Great show, great house. Like you said, let's make independent wrestling great again. Let's get these families back out to their local venues and checking out something awesome, because you don't know who's going to make it until you're out there watching TV one day and saying, "Hey, look, I got to see them back in the day. They're great. They're going to do great
Well,
things."
and it's a great weekend. It's a great day to go and visit somewhere and check out this professional wrestling. It's a great evening. It's a fun evening. Most of these shows you can bring kids, unless it's Hoodslam. But hey, you're going to find something for everybody. And independent wrestling, we want to make it great again. We want to bring it to you once you get you out to these shows. We want to pack these houses for all these independent wrestling shows. Let's grow independent wrestling into something that everybody's talking about. We're going to make independent wrestling great again. We're going to make the stories. As you see the banner, we've got all types of places that we're going to talk about. Collectible Stampede, we're still waiting to hear what's going to go with them. We will definitely be at their next show. We're big support. We have big supporters on both ends. The people that run that show just absolutely support us and love us. Sorry, I have a cat that I got to get out of the way briefly there. So we can't wait to meet up with Collectible Stampede and see their next show go down. La-di-da-di. It's a fight. So we're talking Bay Area. We've talked mostly Bay Area right now. There's a couple other companies. There's East Bay Area Pro Wrestling. There's Action Coastal Wrestling, and there's West Coast Pro. West Coast Pro, of course, something we may be trying to get connected with. West Coast Pro, home to King of the Indies. Could Value Wrestling work their way to being a part of King of the Indies show? That is something that not only do some of the big names in independent wrestling wish they could be a part of King of Indies. Imagine if Value Wrestling got an invite to showcase or help promote King of the Indies with West Coast Pro and some of the other names that go out there. Hey, West Coast Pro, if you're watching, we love to get to know you. We love to make a connection. We love to be part of the King of the Indies show. That would be a blast. Let's get into the Central Valley. Go ahead.
Here we go.
Did you want to add
I was
something?
gonna say West Coast Pro. West Coast Pro is, like you said, is another landmark promotion out of the Bay. Mind you, we've just seen top referee Ref Gill do his thing at Realm of Warriors. So, I mean, hey, Ref Gill, if you're listening, if you're watching, hey, talk to your boys and see if they wouldn't mind having us come out and hang with y'all.
Yes, West Coast Pro Wrestling, King of the Indies show. That is something that we can dream about getting into. Hopefully, we'll work that out. But let's talk about the Central Valley. Let's talk about a company out of the Atwater area, Merced Atwater. Not really a name that a lot of people think about, a place to go hang out and check out, but a growing area. Merced, definitely a growing area. I think the Super Train will be coming through there. Merced to Bakersfield. You can catch that first trek of the Super Train someday. So that'll be nice. But basing themselves there, the true spirit of professional wrestling. Yes, we're talking about fighting spirit pro wrestling out of Atwater. They recently had a show with Joe Hendry, which we weren't able to get to because it was the day before SPW's last show, so it didn't work into the scheduling. But we are in talks with them, and we hope to work out something with them. And they want us to definitely possibly pay a visit to their next show, Saturday, January 4th. At the Atwater Community Center, as Fighting Spirit Pro Wrestling brings you Hybrid Havoc. Doors open at 6 p.m., show at 7 p.m. Tickets are already on sale. They sell their tickets a little differently, so you definitely want to get on there and check that out. We'll drop a lot of links in the description after we're done here, so you can find all these places to check out their websites, Facebook pages, how to get connected with them, how to get tickets to these events. But Fighting Spirit Pro Wrestling, Atwater Community Center, Saturday, January 4th. Hybrid Havoc is coming up. We can't wait to see what they're going to do. I don't believe I have a card. Let me just, I'm not seeing anything on the website at the moment, but hey, you never know. Let me check one more thing over here. Mr. Z, your thoughts?
Fighting Spirit Pro. I mean, it's a brand that I've heard of. Never personally been to any of their shows, but they always have a solid card. They always have solid talent. They have great talent that we have seen out here that does do business out there. So either way, if you've never been to a show, or if you have a favorite wrestler that's at a promotion, your homegrown promotion, you always want to go check out another one, because there are different wrestlers that go to that brand that don't come out here, but you get to see them work there.
Yes.
And like you've seen, Fighting Spirit Pro has had someone like a Joe Hendry show up. Um, there's a lot of names that they've had show up, and people just is shocked that they're there. Like, oh snap! You're like, wow, okay, like it's worth the trip. Either way, it's going to be a hell of a show. I'm looking forward to seeing when they drop a card.
And now Fighting Spirit can be found on Instagram, Twitter, and of course, they got websites and Facebook and everything. I guess they were established in 2013 and then briefly went away for whatever reason and have been reborn in 2024. But they're coming out with Hybrid Havoc. So check out Hybrid Havoc if you're looking for something to do on January 4th. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the next big events that the Value Wrestling is going to be at. We've made the connection. We laid the groundwork. We're going to make a connection. We've made the connection through Collectible Stampede. A couple of the names on this card will be familiar. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about Ugly Dojo Wrestling. Yes, Ugly Dojo Wrestling out of Vacaville. Coming up on Saturday, November 23rd, 3 Oaks Community Center, 1100 Alamo Drive, Vacaville, California. Tickets $20 for adults, $15 for kids. Doors open at 6:30, bell time at 7 p.m. Ugly Dojo Wrestling. And they have a stacked card. This is one reason the Value Wrestling. We've talked to them. We've got the invite. We're going to be there. We're going to be setting up our table. We're going to be bringing you some of the information. We hope to get a lot of these talents, a lot of these names on air to do some interviews. Some of the names that are going to be there: Matthias, Travis Alexander, Loverboy Leo, Malcolm Flex, and of course, Bishop Dorian. If you remember Collectible Stampede, Bishop Dorian was in a great match. Bishop Dorian, the son of Ugly Dojo. And of course, Bobby Cowhan, Chima, two big names that we've got you introduced with SPW. And Chima, of course, making presence felt everywhere. But the big nights, Dorian Gray and Jihad Jewel are going to have a match. And then this classic match, that I'm going to be excited about. I got to meet I've met both of these men at different times, but Lou Devereaux, one half of the tag team from Collectible Stampede, Cutie and the Beast, Lou Devereaux.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to sneeze. Is going to go one-on-one with the Dark Fox Illumide. Another chance to see Illumide in November. You need to go see this man while you have the chance. That's going to be a match for the ages. Lou Devereaux and Illumide. And then let me tell you this. We're going to go catch our boy again on the rebound here at Ugly Dojo Wrestling. Chupacabra going to take on Dante Daring. That's going to be a damn good match. Chupacabra, Dante Daring tying it up. And of course, the Ugly Dojo Championship match. Surza, who we saw at Collectible Stampede again, will make that connection. He's going to take on a big name from SPW, and we've seen him around, Jason Xavier, for the Ugly Dojo Championship match. So Ugly Dojo Wrestling, Saturday, November 23rd, 3 Oaks Community Center. That is going to be a blast. That's going to be a fun time. If you're looking for something to do before we head into the final week of November, before we head into Thanksgiving, before you hit the road, you have a quiet little Saturday. Let's get out to Vacaville. Let's pack this house. Let's fill up every seat in this building for Ugly Dojo Wrestling, Saturday, November 23rd. This card is stacked. Oh, and I'm forgetting the biggest names. The South Pacific Savages are going to be there. How dare I forget the South Pacific Savages are going to be there. Ladies and gentlemen, the South Pacific Savages.
I was wondering if you're going to say it, because I was just like, all right, let's he's going to keep going. I'm going to let him go. I know you can't
Yes.
forget.
Yeah, no.
Especially
Boys.
this man on our channel.
No,
I'm scared.
I can't wait
Man on our
No,
I'm
I
scared.
can't wait to sit down and have another interview with Journey Pod 2. That's going to be fun. Journey Pod 2, South Pacific Averages. We look at the names that we look. If you don't think the Value Wrestling ain't making it, look at the names that love us. And I can tell you that Chima, definitely chopped there.
Mhm.
Chupacabra, a new fan. Getting Journey Pod 2 to be a fan. And of course, I mean, let's look at Illumidate, a huge fan of the Value Wrestling. We love that man. We support that man. That man definitely supports us. So, I mean, the names are growing. The list is getting, we're getting up there. We're getting known. We're getting known enough that these companies are like, yes, we want you, or yes, we know who you are. They are knowing, and we are going to get our name out there.
And folks, please, you want to get down and get to know these guys, no matter what promotion it is, up and down California, whether it be the ones we talk about here or the ones you hear about later on down the road, because we don't know what the WWE ID system is going to do next. We don't know what they're going to be allowed to do after that. So
Yes.
please, folks, get to know these guys beforehand.
Anything can happen, but I think it's going to be good things. Now, of course, the next big event for us, the one that is our saving grace, our boys, our home turf. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about Supreme Pro Wrestling. We couldn't be where we are without them giving us a little bit of a launch pad around and Realm Warriors Championship Wrestling, letting us get our feet wet. But I mean, SPW has been the place we want to call home, the place we will call home, and we are going to be really showing up and doing this show good. SPW November 17th at the World Indoor Soccer Arena, the SPW Arena. It's going to bring you Still Hungry, the SPW Annual Food Drive show. So please bring out all that non-perishable food that we can donate to these families in need this holiday season, especially right before Thanksgiving hits. We need to get all these places filled up. Let's fill up the valley. Let's make sure that everybody is going to have a wonderful meal this holiday season, not just for Thanksgiving, but for the holidays, whether it be whatever holiday you celebrate. Christmas, Kwanzaa, what is it? Oh my gosh. Yes, Hanukkah. There we go. Or if you're a fan of the OC, I guess it would be Chanukah, right? And everybody else who has their different holiday events. But we want to make sure everybody has great holiday seasons, no matter what you celebrate, where you come from. Let's stack the house. Let's get this place packed with people and food for those who are going to need it. Supreme Pro Wrestling, November 17th, Elk Grove, California. Going to be a show. 4:30 doors open, 5 p.m. bell time. Big matches already announced for this show. Last show, Ghouls, Frights, and Wrestling Types. We saw Dante Daring turn on his longtime partner of THC, the High Council, Chima, and we're gonna get the match between them at Still Hungry. Chima is gonna take on Dante Daring. Still Hungry is going down. The SPW champion, the man who is the reigning, defending, undisputed champion, our boy, the Dark Fox Illuminated, the Obsidian Adonis, is going to defend that SPW championship once again on November 17th against the Metal Mechanic Bobby Callahan. Should be a dang good time. Will Bobby Callahan still bring out that stapler? Does Illuminate have a reason to be a little worried about any staples? But hey, that match is going down. Gonna be a fun time. The SPW Extreme Championship on the line. Jack Tracy gonna have to defend that title one more time against Torchy, our buddy Torch. Daniel Torch going to fight for that title one more time. That is going to be a hell of a show. And just announced within the last hour, all the way from El Paso, Texas, Mexi Macho Tortuga is making his SPW debut. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, November 17th, you're going to get to introduce to El Paso, Texas' own Mexi Macho Tortuga.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will make sure on this YouTube video that all these companies are linked. All their information is linked to their Facebooks or their direct website, so you can find all this information and keep up with it. But that's what we're here for. We want to get you all excited about independent wrestling across the board. Supreme Pro Wrestling, ladies and gentlemen, that's our home base. They have a big show on November 17th. Ugly Dojo, Saturday, November 23rd. Oasis Pro, I think, is the next one on November 30th. Hoodslam, December 7th. I've taken a lot of these away. So fighting Spirit Pro January 4th to start off your new year right. And of course, come out to Roseville, California. Get your picture taken with Lucha Santa on December 8th, Roseville, California. Barrios Toys, Roseville, California. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about a lot of this and a lot more, but this is going to become your new program. I don't know if this will be weekly or bi-weekly, but we're going to keep up. We're going to talk independent wrestling. That's what the IWCP is for, the Independent Wrestling Community Podcast. Right here, we're going to talk about all these great places, keep you updated. Join us, the Value Wrestling, the Big Man, Mr. Z, the Medium-Sized Man, the Big Time. We want to talk about everything independent wrestling, so you know, you're aware, and we get connected. And not only are we going to talk about Ugly Dojo Pro Wrestling, but we're also getting introduced probably to Lucha Extreme, something Mr. Z knows a lot about. Coming out of Fresno, California, your boys may be hooking up with Lucha Extreme. Be ready for that.
Oh yeah, no, Lucha Extreme. They used to travel between Fresno and Elk Grove. They used to do shows over there at the bowling alley back in the day, which was great because they filmed 3 shows. So that's 3 shows. Fans get to be there and watch 3 incredible shows, roughly about 45 minutes a pop. But it was worth it. You got to see great matches, great action, and of course, guys like Jr. Kratos from who's a staple in New Japan with his stable. You had with Tom Lawler. El Chupacabra's been there. The Stoner Bros have been there. Um, if I'm forgetting any more names, please, I'm sorry. I apologize, fellas. But I haven't been to a Lucha Extreme show in forever. But I mean, I'm down to go in Fresno when it's ready.
Yes, it's going to be a great time once all these things come together and we're able to do it. A lot of great stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun to check out. Right now, I am just going to get some of these links up for you folks to get more information about some of these independents. It's going to be in the description box below, so you can check it out. We were trying to rush just to get the show up on the air, so do forgive us for that. But I mean, there is a lot to be talked about there. Whoops.
I mean, it's unbelievable. How far have we come?
Yes.
And this is what we're doing now, and we found it, and now we're making it happen, folks. If you were here from the get-go, we appreciate you, and please, stay on this train and enjoy the rest of this ride.
No, and that's why we told you a long time ago that you wanted to be here for all of this, because when it happened, it was going to happen. It was going to happen fast, quick, and it has been an amazing adventure, and we are just slowly growing and getting there. And it's been amazing to see it all come together as we get this going, and it's been a fun time, and we're excited. We're continuously excited to continue to bring you guys all this information about all these great independent companies out there, and we want you to know about it. We want you to be as excited as we are about them because it's it's all about making independent wrestling great again, getting people out to these shows so they can check out what is going down across the area with some of the big names in wrestling, independent wrestling, at least, if nothing else.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I mean, folks, some of these places, if you live in town, it's no more than a 30-minute drive, 45-minute drive, depending on what part of California you're from. You want to make that trip. You want to go take the family. Like we said, most of these are all age events, minus Hoodslam. Hoodslam is your 21 and over, and that's okay. We got something fun for the adults. But other than that, most of these shows are family friendly. Go out, take your family, enjoy it. It's a nice outing, folks.
No, and it's well
And that's
worth
what we're trying to
it's well worth the money you're
families
going to
back out
pay.
there.
You're going to see some great action. You're going to get to see these people up close. You're going to get to see some of the bright stars of the future tomorrow. I mean, Ugly Dojo. I mean, Dorian Bishop, one of the sons, but the other son that you're familiar with over in Noah in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Oh, Titus.
Yes, go ahead. Tell them about the.
Just a solid dude. I mean, what more can you say out there, Pro Wrestling Noah? And I mean, hell, I mean,
Titus
like we mentioned
Alexander.
earlier on
Yeah.
one of the other shows, Starboy Titus Alexander. Yes, that's why I said Titus. Of course, great talent. You have Starboy Charlie, who's been in Noah for the last 6 months, doing great things out there. Don't sleep on these companies, folks, because these are the stars of tomorrow. And get your chance to see them now. Take your picture with them. Get to know them, because once they're gone, there's no telling when they're going to come back. I mean, hell, like I said, I've been a fan of Supreme Pro Wrestling for forever, and got to see guys like Jeff Cobb and J.R. Kratos, Timothy Thatcher. I mean, you heard it on the channel with our chat with the Dark Fox. Guys like that that came out of SPW and have gone. We haven't seen them since. So yeah, you want to get out there and get to know these guys and watch them so you can get excited when you finally do see them on TV, because then you're like, wow. I mean, hell,
Yes.
even Shotzi Blackheart, who's fresh out of Oakland, California, Stoner U, Royalty, even the guys from MXM, Mansoor, Stoner U. They're on AEW right now.
Oh
You
yeah.
got to get to these events, folks. You got to get to these shows.
Yeah, and no, it's well worth it because there's a lot of names coming through the Bay Area, through Central California. We've already seen Joe Hendry return to the local area. I mean, SPW. Let's talk about, you could talk about SPW, but there's a big name that just is always there pretty much every um, third Wednesday of the month out of Sacramento, California himself. The hardcore icon, the legend. I mean, I don't know how many names you can line up and say about this man, but I mean, you can't. I mean, the chance to stand in the presence for a few moments or see this man still in action after all of these years, the one and only Mustafa Saeed. I mean, that's worth that's worth the ticket to a Supreme Pro Wrestling show if you've ever been a wrestling fan. Period.
That's the OG. That's the original gangster. And folks, he's still going and showing why he is gangster. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, no, I mean, there is so much about it that you just want to stay on top of. That it's just fun and it's enjoyable, and that is one of the names that you can find that is still out here wrestling. I mean, that's a wrestling legend in itself.
Yeah. I mean, heck, you still hear Jim Cornette talk about him all these
Mhm.
years. Smoky Mountain Wrestling still getting mentioned because there's always the funny stories of a New Jack and Mustafa, which I still love hearing Jim Cornette talk about because it's hilarious.
Yes, yes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we hope we've gotten you excited. All the links in the description below of all the companies we talked to tonight. Remember, November 17th is a huge one. SPW, Supreme Pro Wrestling, Still Hungry, Camp Food Drive, their annual Camp Food Drive. We need to blow that one out of the house. That will always be the number one home for the value of wrestling. Ugly Dojo, November 23rd. That's Saturday. So that Sunday, the 17th, we will be in Elk Grove. That following Saturday, Ugly Dojo, Vacaville, California. We're going to work with both those programs. But there are plenty of other companies out there to help you feel that need, get that itch. And if you want to follow some of the names, let's talk about Illumide making, SPW, Ugly Dojo. I think I said he was going to be at somebody else's show. I think it was Oasis Pro Wrestling's show.
Yep.
These names are going everywhere. You're going to follow these names. We know the South Pacific Savages are making their rounds. Oasis Pro, our Rumble Warriors Championship Wrestling. They're going to be at Ugly Dojo even. They're making their presence felt. Kenny K, just at Rumble Warriors. Big name at Hoodslam. Some of the other names of Hoodslam. And, of course, you just met at Rumble Warriors Championship Wrestling. Chupacabra, he signed up for a match that looks like he's going to show up at Hoodslam's Entertainia 15. He's also booked for Ugly Dojo Wrestling against Dante Daring. Dante Daring, who was just at Rumble Warriors Championship Wrestling, a big name with SPW. The connection's there. We're going to help you follow all your main stars, all your names. We're going to keep you excited. That's what this is going to be about. And if you're an independent wrestling company, if you're an independent wrestler, we want you to reach out to us. We will welcome you on this show. If you need to send us information so we can broadcast you on this show, to put that information out, reach out so we can help get that support there. So we can talk about you and your program. If you're an independent wrestler, reach out to us. We'll put you on the program. You can come on and tell us where you're going to be, what you're going to wrestle. You can tell us all these dates. And we can even do an interview if you like. We want to talk to everybody and anybody who wants to sit down so we can help promote independent wrestling, make independent wrestling great again. We'll talk. Let's get it happen. Let's get everybody out into this world. On the big time.
Who's not? Wait, real quick. Who's not down for a promo? I mean, if you want to come on here just to talk about your opponent, what you're gonna do with them, by all means, floor is yours. Please come join.
You can come on. We will open the door. You can come on this very show. Talk about the match you have coming up, your opponent. You can shoot on them all you want. Make it fun, make it entertaining, get the fans hyped for why they should come out and see you in action. So, if you're an independent promoter, connect this to all your boys and girls and people. Get it out to your wrestlers so they can see us. Let's get this all connected. If you're a wrestler that knows a independent wrestling promotion, get them hooked up with us. Let's make this unification so we can get everybody a spotlight and get a little shine on it, because we know everybody can't go to every show, but everybody should go to SPW. That's just a hard, cold fact. But, stuff's going to get real well. Ladies and gentlemen, on the big time, that there is Mr. Z. We will see you again real soon, like tomorrow night, with your SmackDown post-show review. We're going to break down everything about SmackDown. Are you ready for that? I hope you are. We will see you tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen. Let us get out of here.